If you're thinking about selling your home in the Silicon Valley, there's one mistake I see homeowners make all the time. They assume increasing their home's value before selling means spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on a massive renovation. But in reality, some of the strongest returns often come from smaller, smarter updates that completely change how buyers feel when they walk through the front door. And in a market like the Silicon Valley, actually, even in your market, wherever you are, perception matters. Sometimes the difference between multiple strong offers and sitting on the market comes down to presentation, preparation, and strategy. Today, I want to walk you through the most effective ways to increase your home's value before selling, where homeowners tend to overspend, and the specific improvements that actually move the needle with today's buyers. Because the goal is not just to spend money. The goal is to make strategic decisions that help your home sell faster, stronger, and with less stress. One of the conversations I have most often with sellers starts like this. Wendy, where should we spend money before we list? And honestly, that's the right question, because not every home improvement delivers the same return. Especially in the Silicon Valley, buyers have very high expectations. They notice details immediately. They pay attention to the condition, the functionality, the lighting, how the property flows, and how move-in ready the home feels. But that doesn't mean every seller needs a full remodel. In fact, some homeowners actually over-improve their homes before selling and end up spending far more than they need to. The key is knowing which updates buyers truly care about and which improvements create the strongest emotional impact. And that usually starts with understanding how buyers experience your home the moment they arrive. Buyers often decide how they feel about your home before they even walk through the front door. One of the fastest ways to increase your home's value before selling is improving the first impression. Buyers notice curb appeal immediately. Clean landscaping, fresh paint, fresh lighting, and a welcoming entry can completely change how buyers emotionally connect with your property. And when buyers feel confident from the start, stronger offers usually follow. I've worked with homeowners who were preparing to sell after living in their home for more than 20 years. It's a beautiful property, great neighborhood, strong location, but the home felt dated. Their first instinct was to renovate almost everything. They were talking about a full kitchen remodel, replacing the flooring throughout the entire house, redesigning the bathrooms, even removing walls. And before spending that kind of money, I advised them to step back, look at the bigger picture. What would buyers actually notice first? What improvements would create the strongest return? What would help the home feel fresh, clean, move-in ready without overdoing it? And instead of a major remodel, we focused on strategic updates. Fresh interior paint, updated lighting, refinished flooring, minor kitchen improvements, and professional staging, cleaning up the landscaping, decluttering every room, and the transformation was dramatic. The home felt brighter, larger, cleaner, more current. Most importantly, buyers are emotionally connected with it immediately. That's the power of thoughtful preparation. Now let's talk about renovations, because this is where many sellers either overspend or they underspend. If your goal is to increase your home's value before selling, the highest return on your investment projects are usually your kitchens, your bathrooms, your flooring, and your functional upgrades. But there's an important distinction here. You do not always need luxury level renovations. You need updates that align with your buyer's expectation for your specific neighborhood and price point. For example, in the Silicon Valley, buyers respond well to kitchens that feel clean, modern, functional, and updated. That might mean replacing those outdated countertops, resurfacing your cabinets or repainting them, updating appliances, changing your hardware out, improving some lighting, and sometimes relatively simple cosmetic updates create a huge difference visually. Bathrooms are similar. You don't necessarily need a full spa remodel, but replacing your old fixtures, refreshing the tile, improving your mirrors, and modernizing your vanities can completely change how buyers perceive your home. Flooring also matters more than many sellers realize. Old carpets tend to make homes feel dated immediately. Clean, hardwood floors or quality modern flooring help homes feel updated and easier to maintain. Then there's the energy efficiency. Today's buyers appreciate smart thermostats, LED lighting, updated HVAC systems, and features that improve comfort and reduce operating cost. But before cosmetic updates, I always encourage sellers to address the major issues first, like your roofing, any plumbing issues, electrical concerns, or foundation issues, because buyers in the Silicon Valley are very inspection focused. Unexpected repairs usually and can quickly affect your negotiations. One thing I think sellers underestimate is how emotional buying a home really is. Buyers aren't just evaluating square footage, they're imagining their future life there, and staging helps create that emotional connection. Professionally staged homes tend to photograph better, show better, and feel more spacious. In the Silicon Valley, where buyers often scroll through listings quickly, online, deciding what to tour, that first impression matters tremendously. I always tell sellers, your home is competing online first. If your photos don't stand out, buyers may never schedule a showing, and that's why staging often is one of the most effective ways to increase your home's value before selling. It really helps the buyer emotionally move into your home before they physically own it. And staging does not always mean bringing in all new furniture. Sometimes it simply means removing excess furniture, creating a better functional flow, improving the lighting, adding texture and warmth. Highlight natural light. The goal is helping the buyers focus on the home itself instead of the distractions. Honestly, one of the most overlooked strategies is also one of the least expensive. Deep cleaning. A spotless home changes everything. Clean your windows, your screens, fresh smelling rooms, have polished surfaces, and your organized closets. These details communicate that the home has been well cared for. A clutter is another major issue. Even beautiful homes can feel smaller and more stressful when there's too much furniture or too much personal decor or just crowded spaces. When buyers walk through a home, they want to focus on the space, not the stuff. I often encourage sellers to start packing before they even begin listing. Remove your excessive furniture, clear out your countertops, organize your storage spaces, minimize your personal items. The more open and calm the home feels, the easier it becomes for buyers to emotionally connect with it. And this is especially important because buyers expect homes to feel polished and turnkey. Now let's go outside for just a moment because curb appeal plays a much bigger role than many homeowners expect. Buyers form their opinions within seconds of arriving at your home. If landscaping looks neglected or the exterior feels worn down, buyers immediately start to wonder what else has not been maintained. The good news is curb appeal improvements are often relatively affordable. Buying some fresh mulch, trimming your landscaping, doing a little pressure washing, updating your house numbers, fresh exterior lighting, and seasonal plants, and a freshly painted front door really go afar. These create warmth and confidence, and the psychological benefits to the buyer is entirely positive. The emotional momentum matters during showings, especially in competitive Silicon Valley, where buyers may be touring multiple homes in a single weekend. Another important point is the timing. Preparing a home properly usually takes longer than your seller expects. Most homeowners benefit from spending a few weeks preparing before the listing, and rushing this process can leave money on the table. Sellers who often achieve the best results are the ones who prepare strategically instead of scrambling at the last minute. This includes creating a prep plan, prioritizing your repairs, scheduling your staging early, completing touch-ups, handling inspections proactively, and pre-listing inspections can also be incredibly valuable. It also aligns the sellers with identifying the issues before the buyers do, and that can help reduce surprises during an escrow and create smoother negotiations. If you're thinking about increasing your home's value before selling, give yourself time to prepare strategically. Rushed listings often miss important repairs, staging opportunities, and presentation details that buyers notice immediately. Even 2 to 4 weeks of thoughtful preparation can make a major difference in the final results and your bottom line. At the end of the day, increasing your home's value before selling is not about making your house perfect. It's about helping buyers see the full potential of the home the moment they walk in. And often the most effective strategy is the combination of thoughtful updates, strong presentation, and smart preparation. And understanding what today's buyers truly value. Some of the biggest returns come from relatively simple improvements. Again, fresh paint, lighting, flooring, decluttering, staging, and having good curb appeal. When those pieces come together, the home feels cared for, move-in ready, and emotionally appealing. And that's what creates confidence with buyers. I'm Wendy Marioni with Compass, and if you're thinking about selling and want to increase your home's value before selling, I'd love to help you create that strategy that makes sense for your goals, your timing, and your unique property. Every home is different, and the right preparation plan can make a meaningful difference in both the selling experience and your final result. You can also read more blogs on my website for additional Silicon Valley market insights, home selling strategies, and practical tips to help you make the confident real estate decisions. And if you're considering a move, reach out anytime. My goal is always to help make it the most supported move you'll make.